The WNBA has modified its playoff structure, sparking criticism from multiple coaches and analysts who claim the Indiana Fever influenced these rule changes. The controversy stems from last season when the Fever voiced complaints about not receiving any home playoff games. Several teams appear frustrated with the Fever's return to playoff contention, as they possess a strong possibility of defeating the Atlanta Dream and advancing to the second round. Some observers suggest teams might reach the championship game this year, with the New York Liberty showing vulnerability. The potential for Indiana to capture a title creates an intriguing narrative, especially considering the absence of rookie sensation Caitlin Clark due to injury. The Fever's championship pursuit carries significant momentum despite losing half their roster to injuries throughout the season. Is that the NBA got best 3 out of 5? It's so like y'all complaining about this format and like y'all want to get paid like NBA players. Well, guess what? Rules are going to change and all these different things are going to play a factor because it deserved to change. And I don't know, man, but going back to the Indiana Fever winning it all, I believe they got it. Bro, if they knock off the Dream tonight, which I really think they are, once you knock them off, they get to round 2, they got a high chance. This adversity has created a determined mindset within the organization, giving them something meaningful to fight for each game. The team's resilience and drive could prove decisive if they advance past Atlanta. Las Vegas Aces head coach Becky Hammond expressed disapproval of the current 1-1-1 playoff format during recent interviews. Hammond criticized the travel requirements, particularly highlighting how teams like Phoenix face pressure in must-win situations while dealing with cross-country flights between games. She argued that professional leagues like the NBA regularly require such travel arrangements. Hammond's complaints seem contradictory given the league's push for increased recognition and legitimacy. The WNBA has sought NBA-level treatment and compensation, yet some figures resist adopting similar competitive standards. Professional sports leagues across hockey, football, and baseball all require extensive playoff travel. ESPN analyst Adrian Carter initially supported the format change, appreciating that every team would receive home game opportunities. However, after observing recent playoff games, Carter reversed her position. She argued the current system inadequately rewards higher seeds and insufficiently punishes lower seeds for regular season performance. Carter's analysis suggests that seeding becomes meaningless under the new format. They got the momentum of the streets. They got the momentum of the networks. They got the momentum because they know they plan for something. See, everybody else plan for something, but they ain't plan for the same thing that Fever are playing for. Half of our damn roster got hurt, bro. Think about that. Half of the team was hurt. They got something to play for. They got something to go out there every night to do something for, to make a difference. And I'm telling you right now, I believe if they knock off the Dream tonight, it gonna be more than Becky Hammond damn complaining. But let's head on over to higher seeds lose the advantage of closing series at home after earning better regular season records. When lower seeds defeat higher seeds in early games, they shouldn't retain home court advantage for potential series clinching contests. The Aces situation exemplifies this concern. Despite losing to Seattle as the higher seed, they maintain the opportunity to close the series at home. The previous format awarded higher seeds 2 consecutive home games, creating genuine consequences for regular season performance. Lower seeds had to earn home court advantage by winning on the road first. Carter believes this created appropriate incentives for regular season excellence. Supporters of the new format argue that playoff qualifying teams deserve home game opportunities after working to earn postseason berths. The previous system potentially denied some teams any home playoff games, disappointing fans who supported their teams throughout the regular season. The 1-1 format ensures all playoff teams can showcase postseason basketball for their home crowds. The debate reflects broader tensions about competitive balance versus entertainment value. Traditional sports emphasize rewarding regular season performance through playoff advantages. However, the WNBA's smaller market size and developing fan base creates different considerations around maximizing fan engagement and revenue opportunities. Historical context shows the league previously used single-elimination playoffs, which created even more dramatic consequences but potentially less entertainment value. The current discussion includes possibilities for best-of-5 series expansion following NBA precedents while maintaining the alternating venue concept. The format controversy highlights the WNBA's growing pains as it seeks increased legitimacy and revenue. Teams want NBA-level treatment and compensation, but sometimes resist the competitive standards that accompany professional sports. Travel requirements, schedule demands, and playoff pressure represent normal elements of elite athletics. Indiana's potential championship run would create compelling storylines regardless of format debates. A title without their marquee rookie would demonstrate organizational depth and coaching excellence. The team's injury-plagued season makes any success more meaningful, proving that adversity can forge championship mentality. The timing of these complaints appears questionable, particularly as exciting playoff games demonstrate the format's entertainment value. Great games and competitive series should validate format changes rather than inspire criticism. The league benefits when multiple teams have realistic championship opportunities rather than predetermined outcomes based on seeding. Moving forward, the WNBA must balance competitive integrity with entertainment value and fan engagement. The current format represents a compromise between these competing interests, though perfect solutions may not exist. And said, who made the decision to shut her down? Was it Caitlin Clark and her representatives, aka agents and medical team? Was it the Fever medical team and Fever management and Caitlin Clark altogether? Who exactly ordered the code red? Because teams earning playoff positions deserve home game opportunities, while higher seeds merit advantages for superior regular season performance. The controversy ultimately reflects the league's continued evolution and growth. Format debates occur in all professional sports as leagues adapt to changing circumstances and stakeholder needs. The WNBA's willingness to modify rules demonstrates responsiveness to team and fan concerns, even when changes create new disagreements. Tonight's Indiana-Atlanta matchup will test whether the Fever can capitalize on their momentum and advance deeper into the playoffs. This is why we want transparency. So you're dealing with the biggest star in women's sports, and you're seeing the effect of it, by the way. Indiana Fever playoff game, nearly 50% off the viewership from Game 1 of last year to Game 1 of this year. Yikes. And even worse, regardless of format debates, competitive games and compelling storylines drive fan interest and league growth. The real test involves whether rule changes enhance or diminish the overall playoff experience for players, teams, and spectators. The WNBA playoffs have revealed a troubling situation that benefits no one involved. Television ratings for the postseason games broadcast on ESPN show a dramatic decline, with the Indiana Fever versus Atlanta Dream matchup being overshadowed by the Las Vegas Aces against Seattle Storm contest. While the Fever game did capture the crucial 1849 demographic, the overall numbers paint a concerning picture across the board. This decline represents a significant problem because it demonstrates a pattern that became evident throughout the regular season. Analysis of television viewership data revealed that while Fever games maintained exceptionally high ratings, contests not featuring Indiana saw only modest increases of approximately 10%. The disparity was stark. Bench Fever matchups averaged close to 1 million viewers, while other games drew roughly half that number, essentially doubling the audience of non-Indiana contests. The turning point occurred when Caitlin Clark was eliminated from playoff contention. Many supporters who initially came specifically for Clark but had continued supporting Indiana afterward immediately departed. This exodus became apparent through various metrics including social media engagement, search trends, and content consumption patterns. Multiple data sources confirm that the Clark phenomenon has effectively concluded. What makes the situation particularly notable is that the enthusiasm surrounding Clark didn't diminish due to her injury alone. Rather, many fans who had remained loyal to Indiana while awaiting Clark's return grew increasingly disinterested in watching the team perform. Once Clark's season officially ended, these viewers abandoned their commitment entirely, having endured what they perceived as tedious basketball for an extended period. The Aces vs. Storm game, meanwhile, performed as expected for typical WNBA standards, drawing 1 1.28 million viewers, approximately half of what Indiana would have attracted the previous year. These numbers align with historical performance for such matchups, representing solid viewership that likely mirrors previous seasons' 1.0 to 1.3 million range. While respectable, the contrast remains significant. The Indiana game managed only 950,000 viewers on ESPN. Had Clark been participating, or if this same game had occurred the previous year, projections suggest it would have reached 3 million viewers minimum. Would be unrivaled, and I think a lot of us don't think she's actually going to play in that league. So you would be looking at May of next year. What are we doing? What are we doing? And it leads people like me to make these kind of videos. So after this came out, the question was asked. Ginny O just flat asked Scott Agnes, though scheduling conflicts with NFL programming may have contributed to the difference compared to the Aces Storm game, this highlights another fundamental challenge. The WNBA operates in direct competition with other major sports leagues, a reality that seems overlooked by various stakeholders. The league, players, and management must acknowledge this competitive landscape. Extending the season creates additional conflicts with established sports programming, particularly NBA games. The previous year created ideal conditions where summer WNBA viewing transitioned into fall, with many fans choosing women's basketball over NFL programming due to their season-long investment. Sky, can you tell us if Caitlin is eligible to return for a playoff game this season? We know they said she's out for the season, but does that mean she's not eligible to play in the playoffs? Scott Agnes, sure, she's quote eligible, but she's out for the season. The decision has been made. I don't love the tone of that answer. I don't, because there's some, why you guys still asking? Well, it's because, however, without that same investment level, audiences have returned to their traditional viewing habits. The viewership records Clark established appear unlikely to be repeated. She holds positions in approximately 15 of the top 20 most watched games in league history. The only non-Clark games achieving similar numbers were contests that preceded her appearances, specifically games that ran overtime and delayed Clark's subsequent game, keeping audiences tuned in. A Sky Aces game from the previous year and an Aces Liberty contest from this season represent the sole exceptions, both benefiting from their proximity to Clark matchups. Future prospects for reaching 1.5 million viewers on smaller networks or attracting international audiences to stay awake for games appear dim. The league and Indiana have fundamentally mismanaged this opportunity. The organization achieved their apparent goal of reducing Indiana's viewership dominance, despite the team maintaining double the audience of other teams throughout the regular season, even without Clark. The supporters who were primarily Clark fans have departed, which appears to align with certain preferences within the league.